Hi, Egg here. On a recent thread in the hosted doodle-doo in Xara users the site, somehow we got round to using ropeworks and how this thing got to show kind of under and over patterns, and it ended up with me using a rope that Jono had produced, which was very good for, works mostly with rope work. So I reproduced that, and Sledger suggested that I did a tutorial, and like all things, it's far easier just to create the image than create a tutorial. Anyway, this is my attempt at creating the tutorial. So this section here is just a image I picked up from the internet of a Celtic knot, which I thought would be quite good to reproduce in rope work. So without going into the hows and whys of how I made it, basically it just follows this line round, how it goes. Now I can select that line, I can select it and set it to 16, select it and set it to 24, and you can see that it fits fairly well in with the original. I'll put it back to 10. I'll put it back to 10, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, so the first and foremost thing that's important in this tutorial is understanding nodes, and here are the nodes that go around, but there's two very important nodes. One is the home node, which is the start node, and you can always find that if you click anywhere on any node on a line and click on the home button on your keyboard, that selects, I don't know if you can see that there, but it selects that node there. Click anywhere else, and if I click end on the PC keyboard, it clicks the end, and this is fairly important for this tutorial. So having created that line, I'm just going to move this down now. I've then applied this brush to it that Jono didn't supply, but led me the way to it's a nice clean brush. And if I go into the brush tool, you can see here that that's the brush, and I can edit that brush if I want, change the spacing, etc. But I'm not going to go into how to use brushes. I'm just going to go into how to get the under and over effect that you can get. So I'll close that. So basically that's that line with that brush applied, and it's got a 24 pixel line width. Now here's the drawing that we pulled off the internet before. In most cases, if we start from the beginning, this bit rope here goes under, but this bit of the rope should go over the top, but you can see it goes under here, but also goes under there. Fortunately, everywhere else, most of the way through, that's fine, that goes under. It should go over here again, but it doesn't, it goes under. Under is correct, over is correct, under is correct, over is correct, under is correct, over is correct, under is correct, and so on and so forth, and we just go around the same loop now. So the only thing that we have to do here is to bring this rope here above the other one, and that rope there above the other one, and then sort out this. If you can just see that, I'll zoom in for a minute. You can see where the rope ends and begins and ends, that there's whilst this bit's over underneath, the end bit coming in here is over the top. So I'll zoom back out, and over the top is actually the way it should do, and this is why I've used these sections. So I'm going to switch those down now. and I'm just going to talk for a minute about the brush issues. Brush issues are different than working with normal shapes, and I've got this shape here, and I can actually go arrange, combine shapes, intersect shapes, and I get that same intersection. The problem is when you're trying to match it up with another rope shape, and Control K to clone that, move that down, and then I go arrange, combine shapes, intersect shapes. You think that's fine, you think okay, it's done it what it is, but actually if you move that over where the rope was originally, you can see that, clicking on down here again, the rope's got an offset, which obviously you don't need. So this under and over using brushes needs a bit more consideration. Just let me go back to where we were, 100% I think, when we. Okay, so I hope you understood that. What we're trying to avoid is that offset that we get otherwise. Okay, I've cloned the rope, and if we remember, if we remember, the rope needs to go over the top in this bit here. So what I'm going to do is just move this over here, just to show you that part of rope that we need to go over. So I want this bit of rope to go over the top. So how can I do that? If I select that rope and select the nodes, click anywhere and click the end button. It then selects the end button, and I can hit delete. End button, hit delete. End button, hit delete. End button, hit delete. Right, I can carry on if I wanted to doing the rest, but I don't need to now, because I'll just delete that bit that we know we want to go over the top, and I'm going to create a circle over the top of it. Okay, sweetheart. Right, I'm going to create a circle over the top of that. I'm going to fill it with no colour. I'm going to set it to Control B to send it back. Select the rope. So I've got the rope selected and the circle with no fill. I'm just going to hit the Q button, and that gives me whatever it gives me. I can't remember what they're called now. A clip view. Okay, and if I then show the other layer up, you'll suddenly see that actually that I might have missed the. Yes, I'm just going to click that. I'm just going to move the clip view up because I've just missed the landing position bit. Yep. Again, doing tutorials is difficult. You can see there now that that rope now goes above the rope below it, which is what we want. We can now do the similar type of thing. I'm going to go just deselect these for a minute. Deselect all these. I'm going to go to the. This again is just a clone of the rope below it. And if I just show, this time we want this part of the rope here to be above that other piece, so I'm going to just moving the clone rope too. I'm going to move this section over here, and I want this piece of section of rope to go over the top. So I select the rope, shape editor tool, click any line, click the end and click delete. End, delete, end, delete, end, delete, end, delete, end, delete, end, delete, end, delete. And I think I've removed enough there. Now what I'm going to do is create a circle, and I'll create the circle in the right position this time using that as a shape. I'm going to set that to none. I'll set it to yellow for the time, so no control back. I no longer want this hint part, so I can delete that. I want to put that to no colour. Select the rope, control, just Q, hit Q, and there you've got this section here now. Is just that rope, and if I bring up that and the clone rope 1, you can see that the rope goes over correctly here, and the rope now goes over correctly here. And there's only one more problem, and that's the start and end position, whereas the rope goes under here and over there. So how can we clear that one up? So I'm just going to go to the clone rope 3 layer up here. I want to zoom in, right, just to highlight what we're working on. We're working on this, the rope goes under here and over here, and obviously the ropes really for that kind of Celtic knot should match. And the way to do that is to add, again, if I click on any point, any node, and click end, which selects the end node, and I can then add that a bit further. Now you have to be a bit careful there, because obviously it's got to match up with the other rope, and the easiest way to do that is to go down to line, just select this, and select that, oh, wrong one, and undo that, select this, move this up to here, and just move that up to there. There's a point, no, it's a nuisance there. I want to select the point behind it, so I'm going to go Shift Tab, there it is. I'm just going to slightly move that up a bit, and just move that down a bit. If I then move that in, zoom out to 100, you can see that that's now overlapping, so it overlaps here at the end, it overlaps oops, don't want that, don't want that. Where's the yeah, I'm yeah, just going to pause a minute. Yes, I understand what I'm done wrong there now, because I've had this cloned rope layer up here. If I move that cloned rope layer down there, you can now see that the end part of the rope goes over, that part of the rope here goes over, this part of the rope goes over, and so I think that's quite good. You've got goes under, over, 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 and back to the start. Anyway, that's the way I do it. You really best just give it a try yourself. But the big thing about using it with a brush is you do have to kind of always make sure that you delete the end points all the way, otherwise they don't match up. Hope that helped, peeps. This is Egg. All the best. See you later.